They said he wasn't a dog, but a 250-pound monster destined for a cage. But when Albert looked into the giant's weary eyes at 3 a.m., he realized the terrifying beast was actually crying for help. Albert had spent years as a silent guardian for the forgotten souls of the city shelters, a man whose hands were calloused from carrying crates of medicine and hearts heavy with the weight of 1,000 barks. He was a hero to every stray, yet as he sat in the suffocating silence of his own living room, watching the steam rise from his coffee like a fading ghost, he felt a void that no amount of charity could fill. He was surrounded by gratitude, but drowned in loneliness, until the day he walked into High Hill Shelter with a request that made the staff freeze. He didn't want the cutest puppy or the easiest breed. He wanted the soul that needed him the most. The worker led him to the shadows of the back alley, where the air felt thick and heavy, and there he saw him, Max, a 250-pound American Bully 3XL, a mountain of chocolate brown fur with a striking white patch on his chest that looked like a shield of honor. Max wasn't just big, he was an architectural marvel of muscle and mass, a creature so enormous that the ground seemed to groan beneath his weight. He had been a spectacle in a traveling circus, used as a prop for his terrifying size, only to be discarded like trash when he grew too heavy to manage. His skin wasn't thin, it was a thick, leather-like armor stretched over a frame that could knock down walls. If you're watching this and haven't subscribed yet, I have to say I'm a little heartbroken. Stories like this need your support. Hit that subscribe button right now, you won't regret it. Now, back to what happened next. The worker's voice trembled as she explained that Max's heart was struggling to keep up with his titanic body. He was a powerhouse on the verge of a shutdown, a king without a throne, deemed too intimidating for any normal home. People saw a weapon, but Albert saw a masterpiece that had been left to rust in the rain. He didn't see a 250-pound liability, he saw a brother who was just as lonely as he was. The moment Albert reached out his hand, the room held its breath. It was a life or death gamble. One wrong move from a dog this size could shatter bone like dry glass. But Max didn't growl. Instead, he let out a low, guttural sigh that vibrated through the floorboards, leaning his massive brown head into Albert's palm. It wasn't just a touch, it was a surrender. The paperwork was signed in a blur of tears and disbelief as the shelter staff watched an unadoptable giant slowly waddle toward Albert's truck, his massive paws sounding like rhythmic drum beats on the pavement. The drive home was silent, but the air inside the cab was charged with an electric realization. Everything was about to change. When they finally entered the house, Max didn't explore. He simply occupied space, his presence turning a regular hallway into a narrow canyon. Albert realized that caring for a 3XL bully with a failing heart was like guarding a ticking time bomb made of pure love. Every breath Max took was deep and heavy, a constant reminder of the fragile line between his immense strength and his medical danger. But then night fell, and the real challenge began. As Albert tried to close his eyes, a sound erupted from the floor that made the windows rattle in their frames. It wasn't a snore, it was a seismic event. The sheer volume of Max's breathing was like a freight train passing through the bedroom, a primal roar of a soul finally feeling safe enough to drift away. Albert lay there, eyes wide as saucers, feeling the bed vibrate with every rhythmic thunderclap from the giant at his feet. He had asked for a voice in his house, but he had received a hurricane. Yet in the middle of that chaotic noise, he realized the crushing loneliness that had haunted him for years had vanished. He wasn't alone. He was being protected by a living fortress that snored like a volcano. What happened next left everyone speechless as the true personality of this circus monster began to emerge in the most unexpected ways. The transformation was nothing short of a miracle. Albert put Max on a strict regime, a desperate race against time to lighten the load on his weary heart. But Max, the 250-pound mastermind, had other plans. While Albert was away, this slow-moving giant became a shadow ninja, using his massive weight to bypass baby gates and reach the high-shelf treats Albert thought were secure. One afternoon, Albert returned to find the kitchen looking like a battlefield of kibble and empty biscuit bags, with Max sitting in the center, his white-patched chest puffed out with pride, and a single crumb resting on his nose. He wasn't just a dog, he was a comedian trapped in a gladiator's body. The local vet was baffled. Max's heart markers were stabilizing, not just because of the medicine, but because his spirit was finally soaring. The fear that once filled his eyes had been replaced by a mischievous glint that could light up the darkest night. Beyond the mischief, a profound devotion took root. Every time Albert coughed or sighed, Max was there, his 250-pound frame moving with a grace that defied physics to press his warm chocolate-colored head against Albert's knee. He wasn't just a pet, he had become a living, breathing anchor for Albert's drifting soul. The neighbors who once crossed the street in terror now stopped to offer belly rubs, realizing that this titan is merely a giant teddy bear fueled by biscuits and love. Their bond is a testament to the fact that no soul is ever truly unadoptable if someone is brave enough to look past the scars and the size. They now spend their days walking the park, a sight that makes crowds part like the Red Sea, not out of terror, but out of absolute awe. Max is no longer a circus freak or a shelter statistic. He is the heartbeat of Albert's home. They saved each other in the most profound way possible, proving that the most intimidating exteriors often hide the softest, most loyal souls. Every night, as the walls shake with those familiar earthquake-like snores, Albert smiles and realizes that the best things in life don't just fill your heart, they shake your entire world. If this story touched your heart and you're still not subscribed, please don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button. What would you name this incredible 250-pound giant? Drop your ideas in the comments. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. It helps more people find these incredible stories.